Hi, so I actually purchased heat transfers from 49 Design. This is one right here on this beautiful shirt. It's actually three. So we've got the arm on both sides, and then we've got the fancy dancer right here on the front. What I love about these heat transfers are they're super soft. They're not hard and crinkly, and they won't freeze up in the cold weather either. What I'm going to do today is show you how to put this heat transfer onto a piece of apparel. Now I've bought another one to show you, and that's the new Jingle Dancer series. So let me grab that. So this is going to be the one that I'm going to show you how to use today. So easy. It takes a few seconds. Anybody can do it. You can indigenize your clothing with ease. So first things first, you get out your t-shirt, sweater, whatever you want. It goes on pretty much any material, any fabric. Place it exactly where you want on this. So I'm going to make sure mine's nice and centered because I'm doing it on the back of the t-shirt. Just make sure it's the back. Then you just need your iron on high, no steam, and parchment paper. So you can get this at the dollar store. It doesn't have to be fancy, just as long as it's good, not wax paper, but parchment paper. So you measure it out, make sure it fits exactly on top of your heat transfer because you don't want the iron to touch anywhere on the heat transfer. So one more thing before we get going. All of the 49 Design heat transfers come with this little barcode, and that will actually go right onto your heat transfer. So we're going to cut that guy right off because it will actually go onto your t-shirt, and I don't think you want any of this on your beautiful new t-shirt. So back to the parchment paper. So you take the parchment paper and just lay it, maybe roll side down so it doesn't pop up like that. And then you just take your iron and you just kind of press. Don't, you might be tempted to like go around and around. Don't do that. Just press straight flat onto the heat transfer, making sure to get all of the areas. Now, you don't want to press because you don't want the transfer to move around on the fabric and get all wonky and sideways onto the fabric. So you just keep pressing. Make sure you get all of the whole transfer. This one's a little bit bigger, so you just want to make sure you're doing it in sections. This is the part where I just kind of pressed for 10 to 15 seconds on each area of the transfer. I sped it up for you so you don't have to sit there and watch me for 5 whole minutes, but it did take about 5 minutes. So now that we've done each section of the heat transfer, at least 10 to 15 seconds minimum per section, we're just going to take this off and let this cool down. So now it has to cool down before we can even attempt to peel it off. So I can feel right now it's all super warm all over. We're going to let it cool down for a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Just make sure it's nice and cool. And we'll come back and show you how to peel it. Now we have to get our heat transfer to cool off. And this is by far the most indigenous way to do this. Okay, so now she's cooled down enough. We're just gonna make sure, so just slowly start peeling it off. And then just ever so gently. If you feel it catching, that might mean that it didn't quite adhere. So you would just stop, get the heat back on it, and until it's coming off nice and smooth like butter, we're good to go. Gorgeous. And we're done. So now, okay, So now that we've finished peeling and everything turned out nicely, we're going to do one more press just to lock it in. So we get back our handy dandy parchment paper, put her on top, and just go ahead and press it in one more time. Now, don't be tempted to do this. I know I usually am, but you don't want to do that. You just want to press it nice and solid. Maybe 10 to 15 seconds per area, like we did earlier. So now that we've done our second press, we are all done. And so there is the finished product. So this is on the back of the shirt. That leaves me the whole front of the shirt to do even more. And you could do like this. You can do it on the sides, on your arms. We have so many heat transfers at 49design.com that'll help you indigenize anywhere you like.